Okay, so hello everyone. We are from group 7. We're presenting to you our mind map that we are gonna discuss. The topic is syntax, the sentence pattern of language part 1.
Syntax is the part of linguistics that studies the structure and formation of sentences. It explains how words and phrases are arranged to form correct sentences. A sentence could make no sense and still be correct from the syntax point of view as long as words are in their appropriate spots and agree with each other. In syntactic construction, there are types of syntactic structure. A sentence begins as a mental constructing job. Sentences are not randomly combined morpheme, but structures built on the basis of rules of combination. The units being combined are called constituents. In traditional approaches to a grammar, a sentence is seen as having at least two main constituents. One is called a subject, and the other one is called a predicate. In these traditional approaches, the subject is the topic of the sentence, and the predicate is a comment or assertion made about the topic. For example, the student looked at the painting. If we analyze by a traditional approach, the student is the subject of the sentence, and looked at a painting is the predicate. In most modern grammars, the predicate is seen as an element that assigns a property to another element in a sentence or helps to relate other elements to each other, thereby completing the meaning of the predicate. The expression the student and at a painting are called arguments. Arguments are necessary elements of a sentence used to complete the meaning of the predicate. Looked by itself is not complete thought, nor is the student looked or looked at a painting. The predicate in this case needs two arguments to complete it, a subject argument and prepositional phrase argument. Depending on the type of verb, one or more argument might be needed. In addition to arguments that are obligatory, a predicate may be completed by elements called adjuncts. These are optional elements. For example, the art student looked at a very beautiful painting. The element is art, very, and beautiful. It's called the adjuncts. Adjuncts are optional elements of a sentence, and they add information that is not essential to the meaning of the predicate.
The second type is types of sentences and clauses. Using a traditional approach, sentence can be classified on the basis of how many subjects and how many predicates they contain and the type of clauses they possess. When a sentence consists of only one subject or topic and one predicate, it is called a simple sentence. An example of simple sentence is the dog ran away. Simple sentence can be combined to form compound sentence such as the dog and the cat ran away. In this case, two sentences are combined using the coordinating conjunction and. The compound sentence tells us that the dog ran away and the cat ran away. Redundant elements are eliminated in forming this compound sentence. Compound sentence can be formed without a coordinating conjunction. As in the following sentence, we studied all day for the test. Now it is time to rest. In this case, the semicolon takes the place of the conjunction. The two simple sentences in compound sentence are said to be independent clauses. A second type of clause used to construct sentence in is the dependent clause. A dependent clause cannot stand alone as a simple sentence but must be attached to an independent clause. A dependent clause often begins with a relative pronoun or a subordinating conjunction. Some examples of dependent clauses are: first, although it is tempting; second, who would be traveling with us; and third, if I come late. A sentence that contains a simple sentence and one more dependent clauses is called a complex sentence. The following are complex sentences: although it is tempting, I will not be going to Las Vegas. These are the people who would be traveling with us. If I come late, start without me. Sentences that have two or more independent clauses and at least one dependent clauses are called com- compound complex sentence. For example, when the teacher assigned the reading for the exam, many students were stunned, but they agreed to study. When the teacher assigned the reading for the exam is a dependent clause. Many students were stunned could stand alone as a simple sentence and is therefore a independent clause of the larger sentence. The same is true of they agreed to study. This independent clause is attached to the rest of the sentence by the coordinating conjunction, like but. The terms simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence refer to the grammatical construction of a sentence. Sentences can also be classified on the basis of their meaning, like purpose or function, or voice. The following are some of the most common sentence types classified in this way. First, declarative. This sentence makes a statement like Christine just arrived. Second, interrogative. The sentence asks a question like has Andrew just arrived? A third is imperative. This sentence expresses a command or make a request like Aaron, come here. And the last is exclamatory. The sentence shows strong or sudden feeling like, oh, if I'm if Jane were only here. Then active or passive voice. A voice is the relationship of the grammatical subject of a verb to the action conveyed by that verb. In most English sentences, the grammatical subject precedes the verb. In an active sentence, the grammatical subject of the verb carries out an activity or purpose. As in the sentence, Mark hit the ball. In the passive version of this sentence, the subject is receiving the action of the verb. So in the above example, what was the direct object becomes the grammatical subject, and what was the grammatical subject is moved to the position of the object. The result is the ball was hit by Mark. Note that the word by and an auxiliary verb was are added in this passive construction. Although the word by often indicates a passive construction, it does not have to be present in a passive sentence. The sentence "the computer was purchased yesterday" is also passive. In this sentence, the subject, like I, we, or a person name, is missing altogether. A possible active version of the sentence would be I purchased I purchased the computer yesterday.
Next, I will explain you about phrase. A phrase is any constituent of a clause. A phrase may be a string of words or just one word. For example, Jake went to the store. Jake is a phrase and so went to the store. The sentence that I mentioned before has several phrases, so we can say that phrase also can be embedded within another phrase. There are 6 parts to phrase. First is a noun phrase. A noun phrase that also often called a nominal phrase can function in a sentence as a subject, direct object, and indirect object. For the example, Mary ate the hamburger. So Mary and the hamburger are noun phrase. Mary is the subject of the sentence. The hamburger is a direct object. A noun phrase can be phrased as NP. A noun might be preceded by an adjective or adjective phrase. The second is a verb phrase that tells you something about the subject. It includes a verb and can include an auxiliary verb, direct or indirect object, and also modifiers. All English sentence always contains a noun phrase and also a verb phrase. For the example, fish swim. Fish is a noun phrase and swim is a verb phrase. And verb phrase often include a noun phrase. Verbs that combine with noun phrase are called transitive verbs. For the example, Mary ate the hamburger. So, ate the hamburger is the verb phrase and the hamburger is the noun phrase within the verb phrase. Next, there is adjective phrase. Adjective phrase are headed by an adjective but might also include adjective modifiers. Adjective phrase modify the noun and can only appear before or after the noun. For the example, this handsome gentleman wants me to help him with his bag. So this handsome is an adjective phrase and gentleman is a noun. So if you take a look at the sentence I mentioned before, it is clear that the adjective phrase is related to or describe the noun. So next is adverb phrase. Adverb phrase is a modifier of a verb. Adverb phrase typically answer. Adverb phrase can typically answer question about how, where, why, or when something is happening. For example, the turtle walks very slowly. Very slowly is an adverb phrase that describes walk, which is a verb. And the last is prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase is a phrase headed by a preposition. It can function to modify a noun phrase or a verb phrase. A prepositional phrase can act as an adjective phrase or an adverb phrase. For example, the farmer from Malang is going into the store. So there are two prepositional phrases in the sentence, from Malang and into the store. The function of from Malang is to modify or describe the farmer. It tells you where he is from. And it is an adjective phrase, but it is also a prepositional phrase. So it calls an adjectival prepositional phrase. And the phrase into the store is an adverb phrase or called an adverbial prepositional phrase. It describes the verb by telling us where the farmer went.
Hello everyone, I'm Raihan. I'm gonna explain the subtopic of labeling the constituents of a sentence. First is by labeling by words. Words, the smallest constituent of a sentence, are morphemes that make it up. Morphemes make up words. Each word can be labeled as its part to speech. For example, your student will look at a very beautiful painting. We're gonna labeling one by one. D is a determinant, art is adjective, student is noun, auxiliary, will is a auxiliary, look is a verb, at is a preposition, is a determinant, very is an adjective, beautiful is also an adjective, painting is a noun. Second is lexicon. Lexicon for specific language is a list of all the morphemes that are used in the language to form words. Lexicon specifies whether each lexical entry is a prefix, suffix, or root. If it is a root, then the categorical is also included. Any co-occurrence restriction are also mentioned by labeling each root as to the subtype of the category, such as whether a verb is a transitive or a intransitive. Example, The boy threw. This sentence is ungrammatical because threw must co-occur with an object, as in, like the boy threw the ball, the boy threw the rock, and etc.
Labeling phrase. A phrase can be labeled as a noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, prepositional phrase, and others. The phrase constituent structure along with labels of each word can also be represented in a tree diagram. A tree diagram is an illustration in a form of an upside down tree shape that shows the constituent of an appearance with the most general at the top and more specific constituent at the bottom of the tree. A tree diagram that specifies the function of each constituent of an appearance is called a phrase marker or a phrase structure tree. Node is a point in a tree diagram where branching occurs. In sentences, the art student looked at some very beautiful paintings. 1. The art student is non-phrase. A very beautiful painting is non-phrase too. 2. The sentence will look at very beautiful painting is verb phrase. 3. The painting is very beautiful is a adjective phrase. 4. The very beautiful painting is a prepositional phrase.
And that is all from us. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice day.